What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So I'm actually on my phone today. I just wanted to show you, got a little something here in the background, but you all are gonna have to stay tuned to see what it is. Pretty exciting. What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So you may have already figured out what we're talking about today, but I'm doing an overview of my EG4 hybrid mini split. Hybrid being that it can run on AC power and solar power. So maybe you can see back here behind me the outdoor unit. So real quick, let's go take a look at it. So this is the EG4 electronics 12K BTU hybrid mini split. This is the outdoor unit. As you can see right now, the fan is running, or the compressor. I did put it on this plastic base. I had some rubber belt hanging around, so I made some little rubber mounts to mount that to. Normally you would mount it to concrete or wall bracket. I didn't want this on the wall because this is a mobile home, and this particular one it wouldn't have worked to mount it on the wall, so I opted to get a plastic base so I didn't have to deal with pouring concrete. So actually the bolts are JB welded from the bottom to hold them when I went to set the outdoor unit onto the base. Again, this is not a install video, obviously. This is just an overview video of my system. So if we come around to the side here, I'm trying to stay out of the shadow possibly, or I'm trying to keep the shadow out of the way for you guys. You can see here that yeah, there's quite a bit of wire back there. That's from the solar panels. I am 98% done with getting this unit completely done. I just need to bury some conduit and run these wires through the conduit. But the cool thing is, on this unit, it has the MC4 connectors already attached to the outside, so all you have to do is plug right up to it. And then off to the other side there, you can see my power cable going in, and the other cable coming out is the communication cable to the indoor unit. And then obviously we have the line set. So I am going to go ahead and I will put everything that I have bought separately, including the EG4 links, down in the description. Some of the links are affiliate links. Any of the Amazon links will be affiliate links. And then there is one other item, the line set cover, which this unit does not come with the line set cover. That is, and as you can see, running up the wall there. So the indoor unit is just on the other side of that wall. The line set cover I actually picked up off the Amazon Vine program. So yes, this video is partially sponsored by the line set. Something else I wanted to show you guys that I went ahead and did while I was hooking this up, and I would suggest that many of you do it if you are going to install this on, especially with 120, or if you have the 24K BTU system, that you install a surge protector on it, because you never know. So here on the side of this box, I have the Mars 83905 surge protective device. That just wires in, and of course if there's any type of surge, that will help protect the outdoor unit, which in my opinion is very important. As things are I mean, they're not super expensive, but you don't want to have to replace, you know, any of those components if there were to ever be a surge if there were to ever be a surge through the AC side of, you know, from the grid. So I'll make sure I link that down in the description as well. And I'm just trying to think of anything else, guys. So with that being said, let's go ahead and we'll jump down into the field. Maybe you can see behind me the solar panels, and I'll show you the rack that I built. All right guys, so down here in the field, as you can see, we have the solar panels and the solar rack. So I just built this out of 2x4s and 4x4s, and yeah, I know it looks like the panels are diving off the end of the rack there. That is my fault. I didn't really spend enough time to make sure everything was square. So by the time you get to this end of the rack, it is twisted back a little bit, but the most important thing is that it is functional, holds the solar panels, and the EG4 works with those solar panels. So 2 of these panels I already had just sitting down in the barn. They were left here by a friend that had a little solar project going on, so I decided to use those up. I did end up going to buy 2 other solar panels, which would be these 2 here, and you could actually buy this system with 410 watt bifacial solar panels, but I opted to go this route just because I knew I had those 2 panels, and just didn't really want to spend the extra money on the solar panels. The 2 panels that I did pick up, I picked those up for $85 a piece. 3 of these panels are Trina solar panels. They are 250 watts. And then this one down here, I thought I was also somehow that one got mixed in. This is one from the gentleman that I bought the solar panels from. He ended up, I guess, accidentally grabbed a Canadian solar panel, but it's 255 watts instead of the 3 250s. But that's fine. Like it's you know, the voltages and the wattages are close enough that it doesn't affect anything. But as you can see here, there is still some room. I should be able to fit 2 more panels on here, which I do believe. I think I'm going to add 2 more panels at some point. I don't know exactly when. So let's go around back here and take a look. Somebody's going to have a fit about my zip ties. I do need to come back down here and cut those zip ties off. I just haven't done that yet. But here you're looking at the solar disconnect combiner box, whatever you want to call it. It is also a surge protective device. I just figured that I would much rather have surge protection on everything. I mean, you know, I'm going through the trouble to install this stuff. Doesn't cost that much extra. This is off of Amazon, so it is quite on the cheaper side. So at your own risk, you can buy this one or you can buy more expensive one, but so far this one is working, and I'm pretty happy with it. So, and that Mars surge protector on the AC side, that is I think that was about 68 bucks or something. I don't remember the price on this. So anyways, I built this rack, and then I found these little mini rails on Amazon as well. You could also tell that it comes with all the clamps and everything that are needed. So these are kind of sort of designed to mount to a roof, but as you can see, they work really well for mounting the solar panels in my specific situation. So I will link these in the description as well. And you might be wondering, why is this one off? Well, somebody can't measure, and this board should have been over here and not here. But that's the good thing about these little rails, is they are adjustable, so that really helps. So again, that's the back of the solar rack, and then we can take a look at the front. And again, like I said, at some point I will probably end up adding 2 more solar panels down there. So anyways, why don't we head in the house and we'll take a look real quick at the indoor unit, and we'll take a look at the Solar Aircon app. That it is optional to use the Solar Aircon app with this setup. I would highly recommend it because there's a lot more things that you can do with that app than just the remote. The remote in my situation just sits on the wall. So, all right, well, let's head inside. All right, guys. Now that we are inside, you can see up here on the wall we have the indoor unit for the EG4 hybrid mini split system. Pretty basic here. You have the logo on the front of the unit. Up here you can see the display. The display shows you your set temperature. In this case, we are pulling PV power. So you have the PV indicator, you have the Wi-Fi indicator, and it does show too that it is plugged into 120 volt. And down here you have the louvers. This is the vertical louver. It is automatic, so it will you can set it to rotate up and down. And then inside you do have manual horizontal louvers. Unfortunately, this 12K BTU unit does not have the automatic louvers. You can open the cover, and then up top you will have your filter that you will periodically have to change. So yeah, pretty simple. This is the indoor unit. And then over here we do have the remote, and to be honest with you, the remote is, for me, it's not very useful. I mean, when I first set the unit up, I did use the remote to turn the unit on and get it functional, but to be honest with you, it's just been sitting here on the wall and I really haven't used it. I use the Solar Aircon app the most. There's a lot more functions you can do on the app than you can on this remote, but for a quick change, it is pretty nice. You can change your heating, cooling, your set temperature, your fan speed. You can limit the AC on here. It can do everything that you need it to do if you're just looking for something basic, but otherwise, like I said, it just sits here on the wall. So next we're going to go ahead and go over the Solar Aircon app. Alright guys, so we're on my tablet here. We're going to take a look at the Solar Aircon app, which is the app that you use for your EG4 hybrid mini split system. Unfortunately, when I went to put this app on my tablet, I actually had to download the APK and allow unknown sources to be able to put the Solar Aircon app on the tablet because apparently it is not available on the Play Store anymore. So hopefully they're just working on that and it will be back on the Play Store, but if not, you are still able to get the Solar Aircon app. So let's go ahead and open that up. So as you can see here, we have the Solar Aircon app open. Up at the very top, it shows you the current weather in your area. It shows my solar AC here. You can rename that. I just haven't. Then, you know, right below that, it shows you some quick actions. You can click on these to turn the vertical, which is the louvers on the front of the indoor unit. You can turn that on and off, turn the light on and off, which is the display on the front of the indoor unit. You can change your mode and set your temperature. So all the way down at the bottom of the screen, you can see, let's click on scene. So you can see I have some scene set up, some automation for different things during the week and day to make the unit do different things. This is pretty handy to help the comfort of your home. I don't know how these functions will work with the AC, as this is set up right now for the heat, but you can turn all these different functions on and off as needed, and you can set more if you click on the add, you can add different tap to runs or scenes and everything depending on what you need to do. So let's go back here to home, click on the solar AC, and here we brought up the page. Currently at the top of the page you can see you have your PV input and your AC input. Currently we are pulling in 499 watts of AC power. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. There's not quite enough sun on the solar panels yet to be able to pull in any AC power. Here in the middle of the screen you can see the set temperature and your current temperature, and then below that it shows you what functions are activated and your total energy savings. To date, since I have installed this unit, I've saved 1,421 watt hours. Very little of that is solar input because, as I mentioned before, I just got the solar hooked up a couple days ago. So yesterday was the first day that I actually pulled any solar input in. Down here at the bottom you can pull this up and change different settings. So you can change your fan speed, you can switch to heating and cooling, turn the unit on and off, different modes, which obviously I have it on hot because it is winter time still. Your vertical, which is your louvers, which I think I mentioned on the front of the unit, you can turn those on and off. Horizontal, my unit does not have automatic horizontal louvers. In the front of the unit they are manual, so they are split in half, and I have half facing one way, half facing the other way. Again, the light is for the display. I'm not using eco, not using sleep. My unit does not have electricity heat, so that is irrelevant. The AC limiter I have not used yet, and I honestly do not plan on using it. From what I understand, that may interfere with the performance of the unit, but that is pretty handy if you need to reduce your AC input. Anion has something to do with making the air filter more, I guess you could say, useful. It helps it perform better to help clean your air within your home a little bit better. And then you can also switch your temperature unit. Whoops. You can also switch your temperature units to Fahrenheit or Celsius, which that does change the display on the front of the indoor unit. But since we're in North America, I am going to go with Fahrenheit. So down here we have the cloud schedule, which I do not use because, as I told you, I'm using some scenes to help automate the mini split, which seems to be working really well so far. Let's go back here. So let's click into the historical electricity data, and as you can see, today, March 1st, so far I have not pulled in any PV input. So if we click back to yesterday, the green in the middle of the screen, or I guess you could say in the middle, that's more like the middle of the day. The green is a solar input. So if we look back at about 9 to 10 o'clock, that's when I started to pull in PV power. Again, it is March, so the sun is still pretty low in the sky. So what's happening is, it's not coming up over the trees earlier enough, or it's going down over the trees early. So that brings my PV input down during the winter time. But the cool thing is, when you do have solar power, as you can see here, 1 to 2 o'clock, we were 100% on solar power. So it is pretty nice to be able to help reduce your electricity bill and power your unit 100% on solar power. And so as you can see through the data, you know, it goes up and down. Also, the reason this is so low, 14 to 1500, is because that was about the middle of the day and the house is plenty warm, so the unit wasn't even running, which really helps to reduce your watt hours. And then as you can see up top there, and look, see, we started pulling in some PV power, so now we're going to start reducing the electricity bill. So this might, you know, kick on and off a little bit, just because the sun is still coming up over the trees. As you can see, we're starting to lose some PV power again. That's nothing to worry about. It's a normal thing. It automatically does what it needs to do, and haven't seen any issues with that. So far, let's click into the month here. So this is just for February. I installed the unit on the 16th, and to date I've used 213 watt hours of energy, and obviously that's going to keep climbing. And then if we go back real quick and go back to here where you see the energy savings, 1422 watt hours, that's how much I have saved. And obviously when the solar power is when you have PV input, this number will climb more significantly, because you're no longer using grid power to power your unit. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned that my unit is the 12K BTU unit, which is 120 volt. They do have a 24,000 BTU unit, which is 240 volts. So anyways, guys, that's the Solar Aircon app that you need for your EG4 mini split system. I will put a link down in the description to Signature Solar, where I bought my unit, and they also do sell my unit with 410 watt solar panels. They're bifacial solar panels, and I may have mentioned as well that I do plan on adding 2 more solar panels, which will help pull in a little bit more PV, which will definitely help reduce the AC input. So anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please drop me your questions and comments below, and I will try to answer them to the best of my knowledge. Again, this was not an install video. This was just an overview of my solar AC unit. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.